Anyway, moving on. Boxing's
a joke, man. Like,
is a joke.
how does the 2 hours leading up to the fight was just greatly
Summed it up.
It's just sums up boxing.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't understand it. It's so old fashioned. Like, with everything else moving forward and trying new things and kind of like the promotion is like, I just don't get anything promoted to me for boxing. I wish I did.
For the amount of money that they make, they could put a lot more effort.
I just
into
don't
boxing.
understand it. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Surely there's not that many eyes going towards it now. Like,
no, and it'll be interesting to see how many people bought that pay-per-view. The tactic that they use.
Sorry to interrupt, but that is, at the moment, in my eyes, the biggest, like, one of the biggest heavyweight fights you could make right now.
For sure.
Like, I don't know if some, diehard boxing fans maybe see it as a bit of a gimmick or whatever, but I mean, they shouldn't after seeing what happened, but
they were proved wrong.
Yeah, they were proved wrong if those were your views, and I'm just
they were
speculating
kind of our views last week. That's kind of what we said.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, you're right. It was a huge fight, and it just didn't feel like if that was in the UFC, we would have known about it, and it would have been forced down our throats.
Yeah,
every day for months leading up to it, and that's how it should be.
It would have been leaked onto the side of a building in New York City by accident, like 8 months before. Yeah, like it's one of those things that it struggled. Like, I really struggle to believe, like, how on a, like, leading up to that week, I wasn't reminded every day. Like, I do a lot of scrolling on my phone. I do a lot of that kind of stuff, and I wasn't given, like,
it just wasn't pushed enough.
It wasn't pushed.
It's one of the things that I can completely agree with Dana White on. The production in the marketing for boxing is atrocious.
Yeah,
and it's like, and then like you say, and then you get to the fight and the production of the whole event. It's like, it's kind of cool. There's a few artists here and there, but like, why is like, who are these rappers getting up and singing? Why is it 2 hours? You've got to wait 2 hours for the main event to come out. Like, the UFC, it's snap, one fight after the other. It works. It's hype the whole way through.
And you can listen to whatever music you want in between.
Chuck your music on. Have a playlist running.
I'm not the biggest rap fan.
No, neither. And are boxers big rap fans?
I don't know.
Are like heavyweight boxing elitists fans? Who was it that was it, like Little Baby or something? I don't know.
If we're struggling to get, promoted, like, if boxing events are struggling to make it towards us, like, in terms of promotion, I don't think the people that are listening to that music are getting promoted to boxing either. Do you know what I mean? Because therefore they're probably not watching boxing. So, like, what diehard boxing fan, like you say, it just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. All of it
doesn't make any sense at all. It is really strange, and it's worrying for boxing. It is. I'd love to see the UFC and Dana White in particular try and do something in boxing. I don't know if it will ever happen. It's kind of been teased over the years, but I'd just love to see how they did it. Imagine like a UFC style event where it's just fight after fight after fight, big fight after big fight, great promotion, just exciting, and all packed in and done very professionally. But with these boxers,
that's right.
I feel like they could do a great job. It's a shame that we haven't seen it so far, but honestly, the state of boxing is, maybe it's not dead, but it's not doing well.
It's just something about it that just feels corrupt as well, like,
it doesn't feel right.
Just like I said before, it just seems like there's no new ideas, and there's all these, like, old dudes, like, just like dying slowly in these suits on a stage, and they're just there like, this is this is old mate just here to, like, I've been promoting for 60 years.
I like how your feet go up.
Because it's like in a chair, isn't he? Like, but dude,
I know what you mean.
Who is that?
The only good thing about boxing production is Bruce Buffer's brother. I can't remember his name. The other
B Buffer.
The other Buffer. There's another. It's not Bruce Buffer. It's his brother.
I know.
Long lost
but
brother.
I meant, like, as in B.
B brother.
B.
Anyway, moving on. That's the only good thing about boxing. The production. Do have to touch on it. Dana fumbled the bag a little bit with that whole thing, in my opinion. Letting Ngannou go, letting him go make all this money and make someone else all this money when we all know the UFC could have done that better.
I mean, we've all heard like that is that's one way of looking at it for sure. You've also got to take into account all of the demands Francis was making, like so-called demands Francis was making in his contract negotiations. It sounds like they were never going to come to they
weren't going to come to an agreement, even playing field. It wasn't going to happen.
That's right. It sounds like they weren't, like, they were paying him enough by the sounds of it in terms of like where he stood in like the scale of what he was doing for the promotion and the rest of those kinds of things. But yeah, the other demands that he was making on top of that, it's not something that the UFC seem interested in.
Yeah, it was never going to fly with the UFC. If these are legit claims, or like the healthcare, the minimum fighter pay for his, the ability to box. But
I do agree with you though. Like, I mean, this fight has been what they were saying. It's been something they've been talking about since about 2019. Yeah. And Francis was well and truly in the UFC at that point.
He was, and
it could well have taken place back then. And yeah, like you say, it would have made a lot of money for Dana. But at the same time, I mean, it's a nicer story for Francis. Like,
yeah, for sure.
How much of a success story this guy has now, man. Like, yeah. Like we brushed over it the other day, but just coming from the background he's had, and now he's gone up there to boxing and like showing us what he can do, and
it's pretty impressive.
It is very impressive.
And he's proved a lot of people wrong who said that he fumbled the bag. He definitely didn't fumble the bag. Francis Ngannou made a bag.
Actually, I know. Weekend. I just came up with an idea. Francis Ngannou's next fight, it's not going to be in boxing. It's not going to be in MMA. In like 4 months or something, he's going to like grapple Gordon Ryan in a professional jiu-jitsu match. Yeah. And win.
Well, he's going to win.
That's his next fight. That's his next challenge. Yeah. That's the only way. He'll just take out the top hitters of every single combat.
Every other sport. Then he'll come back to MMA, beat John Jones, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
No, by that stage he'll be 50 and it will be in the Coliseum like we spoke about.
Like we said. Honestly, I'd pay money for that. He would lose.
Yeah, he would.
But we said he'd lose the boxing fight. So
right. And we said it was a gimmick too.
We'll see what's next. But yeah, he did so well. He proved Dana White wrong. Most importantly, in my opinion, he completely proved him wrong.
It's nice when that happens.
It is quite nice, and I can't wait for the next press conference where Dana gets asked a question about what happened. And don't get me wrong, I love Dana White. I think he's brilliant for the sport. But when he's proved wrong, after he was so certain that something was going to go a certain way,
comical.
It's pretty satisfying.
It is,
especially when someone like Francis is involved.
A winner like Francis.
Yeah, exactly.
A real go-getter. He
got up from the sand, dug his way out of the sand, because that's what they do in the sand dunes, right? That's what he was doing.
He was in the sand mines.
The sand mines.
Sand dunes.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this short episode of Combat Corner.
If you like what you see, we've got lots of long form content below and lots of other videos like this, so feel free to go along and check it out. We really appreciate all your support. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, share it around. Have a good day.
Peace.